Gavin Southwell rang the Nasdaq bell twice as CEO. Both times, his company had outperformed Apple, Amazon, Facebook, everybody. Fortune magazine ranked it the #1 fastest-growing public company from 2017 to 2019. The complaints rate was the lowest in the industry. Millions of Americans got health insurance for the first time because of the technology his team built. Most were blue-collar workers, minorities, families who couldn't navigate the broken healthcare system on their own. It was the kind of success story business schools study. The kind that looks easy from the outside. A defining moment was when I realized that there are more important things than money, that bad things happen, and it's how you react to that darkness which will define you, Southwell says. He's talking about his son who died and broke Southwell's life open. He spent months grieving, raising money for charities that help families in the same nightmare. The statistics for parents who lose a child are bleak. Most never recover. Men especially end up with substance abuse issues or mental health crises. Southwell knew the data as he's always been data-driven. So he did what the numbers said he couldn't. He came back. Moved from London to the United States, took a role in health and life insurance technology, and built a company that would eventually employ thousands and save tens of thousands of lives each year. Along the way, he learned that doing good work doesn't shield you from hard days, but it gives them meaning. Southwell grew up poor in northern England. Moving to London was a big deal. He worked in investment banking and insurance technology for nearly 20 years before landing in the United States. Early in his career, he was part of the team that built the world's first quote-buy-print insurance business. They sold it to the world's largest insurance company, which used the model and technology for personal lines globally. At Beazley, he helped the firm become the first Lloyd's insurance company rated strong for risk management. When people ask what do, I always reply I work really hard, he says. At a privately owned insurance broker in London, Southwell became COO. Within a few years, the firm became the largest privately owned broker in the world. They won London Broker of the Year, Transaction of the Year when they acquired the largest wholesale broker in the United States, and Claims Team of the Year after their Chile office helped pay billions in claims following the Chile earthquake. All in a few years. The business held the largest insurance contract in the world with Venezuela's oil companies and dominated most of Latin America. Southwell lived on flights. It was hard work, but they built something. Then sold it to private equity. When his son died, everything stopped. Then started again, differently. Gavin Southwell's company in the United States became a machine for connecting vulnerable people to healthcare. About 70% of the staff were women. Around 75% were minorities. The business trained blue-collar workers to become licensed insurance agents, gave them career paths, and sent top performers to the Bahamas every year. One agent told Southwell she'd moved out of her mother's house with her 2 kids for the first time, bought great birthday gifts and took swimming lessons so she could swim with dolphins in the Bahamas, where she had family she'd never met. All because she spent her days helping people like her access healthcare for the first time. Southwell kept a folder on his desk. Emails and letters from people whose lives had been saved by the healthcare his company connected them with. Tens of thousands of lives each year. He'd pull it out when the work felt heavy, when the days ran long, when he needed to remember why any of it mattered. The folder reminded him why the company existed in the first place. In a system so broken as what we have in the USA, there are endless horror stories where people simply can't access care and they have bad outcomes, he says. The company became the go-to source for data. Fox News quoted them. CNN too. The White House. The President. Southwell didn't discriminate. He just reported the numbers. The company had been reviewed and monitored by 43 states for years. Market-leading compliance. The lowest complaint percentage in the industry. The model worked because it was built for the people who needed it most, not the people who could afford it easiest. At one commercial team member's kid's birthday party, the father gave a speech thanking Southwell for believing in his son, helping him succeed, buy the house they were in, create a great life for his family. Not many people say thank you when you help them progress. It meant a lot. The business grew fast because it solved a real problem. When the company was valued at $2.2 billion, Southwell knew it wasn't just about the numbers. It was about the lives changed, the families protected, the system cracked open just enough to let people in. Andrew Beasley taught Gavin Southwell to build on strengths instead of obsessing over weaknesses. Beasley built the second largest Lloyd's syndicate, made billions, gave Southwell his first big role at a young age. When Beasley died, hundreds came to pay respects. Southwell never heard a bad word about him. What a legacy. Southwell also learned from Warren Buffett. He attended Alfalfa, an annual gathering of leading U.S. business leaders and politicians, several times. Talked with well-known figures, watched them interact, and Buffett stood out. At the time, he was the richest man in the world, probably still the most respected. Very smart, fun, friendly, and in that crowd, it mattered. There are a lot of very successful and smart people, few are so pleasant to spend time with, Southwell says. The lesson stuck. Success doesn't require being difficult. The best leaders Southwell worked with were the ones who made it look easy, who treated people well, who built something and left it better than they found it. He's tried to carry that forward. I've been very fortunate to work for some very inspiring people throughout the early part of my career, Southwell says. I've also been lucky to work with positive high-energy people who wanted to build good business and address market challenges through technology and improving processes. That positive energy became part of his operating system. When you're building a company from scratch, culture matters more than anyone wants to admit. Southwell built teams that reflected the customers they served. Diverse, hungry, willing to work hard for people who needed help. The kind of teams that win. Now Gavin Southwell works as an advisor and investor to technology-focused growth businesses. He has more than 17 years of technology experience and has worked with some of the largest insurtech exits of all time. Previous customers include leading names in retail, financial services, and transportation. He focuses on technology where market inefficiencies or consumer challenges can be solved by technology and AI. The work suits him. He gets to help companies scale without the day-to-day grind of running one. He can spot the problems worth solving, the teams worth backing, the ideas that might actually work. After building a company that helped millions, he knows what good looks like. He still raises money for charities. Organized cycling events for years, including cycling across the UK. He helped create thousands of jobs, trained workers, and supported diversity in tech. He's still involved with a Tampa-based charity as one of the largest supporters. Success, to Southwell, isn't fame. It's family and friends knowing he's doing well, living a good life, happy and content. There's always more to do, things to change or do differently. I've never wanted to be famous or well known, he says. I don't care what people I don't know think about me. I care about family and friends, and I want them to know that I'm doing well and living a good life. That just means trying to be happy and content. He'd tell his younger self to be brave and do your best. That'll be enough. Everything before brought him here. Highs and lows, all part of it. Make it count right now, do your best, and that to me is success, he says. He's an immigrant, loves many things about the country, and is proud his children will grow up here. The American dream looks different when you've lived it from the outside in. When you've built something that mattered, lost something that mattered more, and kept going anyway. You never know what will happen tomorrow. May as well do it today.